Hello, my name is Tracy Goodman. I'm the Patient Services Manager for the AF Association. Today, I've very kindly been joined by Martin, who is from Kent in the UK. Martin is here to share his experiences of atrial fibrillation, and in particular, his experience of a pulsed field ablation. Thank you very much, Martin, and thank you for sharing your time with us today. I'd like to hand over to you, if that's okay.
Yeah, as you said, uh, my name is Martin. I live in the UK. I was first made aware of having AF back in 2014, and my story has really gone from then. I've had 3 cardioversions and 3 cardio ablations. The last one of which was in August 2020. Since then, although I've been in and out of hospital for various reasons concerning my lungs, um, my heart has always been in sinus rhythm. So that's good news. But although it took 6 years to get there.
Wonderful. What was it, the pulse field ablation that really was the successful one in the end? Talk us through the previous ones and why you feel that they weren't successful.
After the first one, I'd gone from fibrillation to flutter, and the surgeon at the time said he wanted to have another go,
Mm.
and he managed to reduce the flutter almost to nothing. Um, but then we had the final operation, as I say, in August 2020, and it's been fine ever since.
So were you finding that the AF was impacting you on like a daily basis? Would you say you were getting like regular episodes of the AF, or was it quite intermittent? Talk us through your journey with that experience.
I found it was there most of the time, to be quite honest. Certainly up until I got to the flutter stage, um, there was just a continuous, felt like your heart was screaming to get out of your chest.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
and feeling very, very tired all the time. Um, Not so much breathless, but that seems to have come on since my final ablation. But I think that's more problems with the lungs rather than the heart. Um, After I got to the flutter stage, um, unless I was really exceptionally tired, I'd been doing a lot, then it didn't seem to affect me that much. And I certainly wasn't aware of it like I was with the um, fibrillation.
And how did you find out about it at the very beginning in 2014 when you were diagnosed? Was it because you were getting these episodes? Did you go into the doctor immediately, or is it something that was
No,
picked up generally by another cause or an accident? Some people contact us and let us know they were completely unaware.
I just moved in with my now wife, and I had a cough and it didn't go, and she kept on saying, "You got to go to the doctor." But like most men, no, it's only a cough, it'll go. And she kept on nagging and nagging. So I said,
Reminding and advising, Martin.
"Yeah, yeah,
What
um,
ladies do best.
yeah." So after, uh, and at that time, I wasn't even registered with a doctor locally. So she registered me with her practice. I went to see the doctor, and he basically said, "Did you drive here?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Can someone collect your car?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I've ordered you an ambulance. You're going to hospital."
Oh, that must have been a
Um,
bit of a shock.
it was, yes, because at that time I never heard of AF, knew nothing about it, didn't know what it was,
And were
and
you very
spent several
symptomatic at
weeks in
that point?
hospital.
Yeah.
Now I look back at it, yes, but I just didn't really take any notice of it.
So when you
Um,
look back, what were you experiencing? Lightheadedness? What kind of symptoms were they?
um, I was getting pain in the chest. I was also, um, if I did any exertion, I was getting very breathless. Um, and I could just feel my heart beating hard all the time, or felt like it was beating hard all the time. But obviously, knowing what I know now, it was actually trying to do its job.
So you were taken off to hospital,
Yeah.
and I were
Oh,
you given a 12 lead ECG and admitted to hospital? What was the next sort of
yeah,
stage?
I think I was given an ECG actually in the doctor's practice.
Mm.
Then that's when they called the ambulance and sent me to the hospital. Um, I was admitted there and I was in there for about 5 or 6 weeks, I think.
So Martin, you had a number of cardioversions and ablations. Could you give us a sort of a time frame of when those happened?
Yeah, I had the 3 cardio versions between, April 2014 and late 2014. Not exactly sure of when the last one was, but one was in April 2014. The second one was in June 2014, and I believe it was round about September time. But I haven't got the exact date for that. Um, all of them were successful for limited periods of time. It was then they decided to refer me to another hospital for cardio ablations. I had 3 cardio ablations. One was in May 2015, one was August 2016, and the final one was in August 2020. Since the final one, um, I've been in and out of hospital various times concerning issues with my lungs. They've invariably done the 12 lead ECG. I've had angiograms. I've had uh, what's the other test with the ultrasound test?
Electrocardiogram?
That's it. Yeah, and I had one of those recently,
An
and
echocardiogram, yeah,
yeah, and my heart has always been in rhythm. It's not been
that's
out of
good.
rhythm since.
Are you taking medication now still?
Yes, yeah.
Well, that's good then. So everything's good. Are you taking regular checkups? Do they call you in at all, or how have you been discharged from the consultant? Where are you today?
No, I'm still under consultant locally again,
Mm.
for the heart. Um, but predominantly most of my trips to hospital at the moment are for my lungs, which is outside of my area.
Mhm. Okay. Have you got any advice or anything that we can share with any patients watching this who may also be in that same situation, who
Yeah,
may be being advised to have an ablation or have a cardioversion? What's your advice to them?
I think my biggest advice is just accept what is being offered and do it. Don't be afraid.
Mm.
Um, from my experiences, there's absolutely nothing to be afraid of. Any complications I had were not caused by the operations. They were caused by my lungs, which is a separate issue. Um, and as I say, after the first cardioversions, I just felt great. I really did. It was like a new life.
Mm.
Unfortunately, only for a limited time.
Mm.
Um, after the last cardio ablation, um, my life improved a lot, but my lungs are holding me back on things now.
Okay. And so the other thing I suppose to remember most importantly is to not ignore any symptoms or anything at all.
Absolutely, yeah.
Listen to your wife.
Listen to the wife. Yeah, get advice. and
And just get
reminders.
yourself checked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Don't
absolutely.
don't be scared. If you've got any issues that you think are not right, contact your GP. I know there's a lot of talk at the moment about GPs not being accessible, but my experience is if it's something to do with your heart, they're usually pretty quick off the mark, and they will make you priority.
It's
Um,
good to know, isn't it?
yeah, I think so. It's
So has
definitely
the AF Association supported you in any way along the way to
it. Initially, I think once I'd had the cardio versions, I sort of lost a little bit of, shall we say, I was going to say faith, but that's perhaps not the right word. Confidence, maybe,
that's not
because
unknown. That's quite well known, actually.
yeah,
Lots of people experience that kind of low mood or a little
but having
um
looked, sorry, gone.
they experience low mood, and
Yeah,
it's very, very common. That can be a combination of the symptoms or medication, and also concern about what's around the corner and the future. So all of those combined can have quite an impact on mental health as well. So
yeah,
I hope
I,
that you had support in that as well, Martin.
yeah. I don't think medication helps, to be quite honest, in that either. Um, there are some medications I've tried and I've had to stop them and
Mm.
say no. I just don't agree with those, or they don't agree with me.
Okay.
Um, but
But the
yeah,
doctor obviously took that on board, and this is why you probably went and had your procedures,
yeah,
because absolutely, medication does not agree with everybody,
no,
and some
no,
people can't tolerate it. So yes,
no,
there are other options. So if you feel that you're in that position and you're not responding to the medication as well as you think you could be, then
mhm,
yes, don't hold back in talking to the doctor to get
yeah,
a recommendation or a second opinion, of course.
yeah. I've
Mm.
um, I've recently downloaded the information that you sent, and I have to say, reading that, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I should be doing this, or I should be doing that. I think excuse me, you can become very complacent and think, I've just got to live with it. Well, you
Mhm.
haven't. You can still have a life. Um, one of the things I like to do is traveling. The biggest obstacle to that is getting travel insurance.
Mhm.
Um, but I've been fortunate to travel to a lot of countries around the world since I've had AF, and it's just learning what your limits are. And when you say no, it means no, don't do it. Stop, rest, rethink. Is there another way I can do this? But
Great advice.
you really have got to get on with your life. You can't just sit down and just say, "Oh, I'm ill, I'm going to die," and that's it. You've got to
Mm.
get on with it.
And
Um,
AF is not life-threatening, as we know,
no,
and it can be helped by making those little changes
mm,
and, listening to your body and taking on board what the doctors say to you. Like you say, it's
yeah,
great. But Martin, I'd like to say thank you very much for your time today, and your experiences. I'm sure will be very, very helpful and useful to somebody in a similar situation. So thank you very much for your time.
okay. Well, thank you, and thank you for all the AFA does as well. Because
Thank you.
having read the information and being involved in another conference earlier this year, um, I can see how much influence and how what you say and the information you give out can really help people.
That's
And
good to
it
know.
is well worth reading. And if you're not sure, as you say, pick up the phone and talk to yourselves.
Yeah,
Um,
patient services are always here to help.
yeah,
And like you say, there's lots of information and events available, from World Heart Rhythm Week to our Patients Day that takes place in the
mhm,
autumn, and our online coffee mornings, of course, plus
yeah,
a plethora of information on our website. So
yeah.
thank you very much, Martin. Very much appreciated.
Okay.
Take care now.